Good day once again. I think by now you must have gone through several steps of a sales call, from the preparation, planning, and the research section, all the way through to the introduction and opening statements. Now you're going to learn a little bit more about closing the sale. That's after you've done your probing and confirming the client's needs, but also, most important, giving price and recommendation to your client's needs. You've done all this work so far, and it's about time now you close the deal, to close the sale. So this section is called closing the sale. Feel free at any time to pause the recording, to make notes, and make sure that what you're learning here today you understand. Now, this is what we're going to be covering today, an overview. We're going to look at buying signals and the type of buying signals, but most importantly, why people fail to close deals. Then we're going to look at different types of closes. You're looking at the assumption close, doorknob close, looking bonus close, and alternative choice close. Some call it the choice close, but also the last chance close, and also other things like minor closes. Super. So, why do people actually fail to close deals? And it's very simple. People fail to close deals either because they don't know enough to close the deal, or they don't recognize the buying opportunities or closing opportunities. They tell the customer about the product without allowing the customer to agree or to comment or object. And people talk twice as much as they listen. Therefore, they fail to see the different buying signals. Okay, now when we look at why people actually fail to close deals, is that when you're not sold on your product, the client is also going to be sold on why they should buy your product as well. So don't get sold by your client about the reasons why he doesn't want your product. At the end of the day, either way, someone's walking out with the deal, and you, the sales consultant, take control. You'll find yourself in situations where you have the negotiator, that person that's going to make you walk away from a deal, even though you know it's a great opportunity for the client, but they want to negotiate the price. So you have to block the negotiator. Always look at things like you don't have more money to give them. People will want discounts all the time. The reason why your product is valued at what it's valued right now is because that is the right price for that product. Remember, you don't buy a book for 200 Rand assuming that you're going to get only 200 Rand's value. No, you're going to get thousands and thousands of Rand's value. But your product is priced right. Always know how to block the negotiator by thinking in your brain, I actually don't have more money to give you. When value exceeds price, that's when people buy. So value must exceed the price. Show the value more than focusing on the price. Because if you show the value, then the client should be on the same page as you. So let's look at this. If you're about to bail on a deal, if you're about to walk away from the table after doing all this effort, make sure that you walk out on your terms. You need to keep control over the situation. Remember one thing, you've asked for the appointment, you've done the research, you've asked the right questions, but the client is not buying at this point in time. Therefore, you need to go back to the steps of a sales call and find out exactly why your client is not buying. Do more questioning, probe a little bit more. I believe that kids are the closers. We forgot somewhere on how to keep control of a situation. So I thought I'd add this as a funny way of looking at things, because kids don't just ask or tell, they close deals. If they don't get what they want, they get it on their own terms by crying. So don't cry, but always remember, it's not a bad thing to ask for that order or to ask for that signature. But also, on the same token of talking about price, and negotiators always asking you to go relook and sharpen your pencils, you never find yourself in a situation where you're going to a dentist and you say, dentist, I really need you to fix my teeth. And the dentist says to you, how badly do you need to fix your teeth? And you say, really badly. I really want to fix my teeth. Doctor recommends 10,000 Rand surgery. You don't go back to him and say, listen, doc, that's too much. Can you work out a deal for me? But the doctor doesn't say to you, okay, how much do you have? The doctor doesn't say to you, okay, let's work out a good deal, because you know that that's not going to be the price that was actually recommended. So the job itself is going to be less. So don't negotiate on the price too much and keep to rate card. Remember something, that each question answered is an opportunity for you to close, to use a minor close. Each question answered is an opportunity for you to reconfirm that that person is in agreeing with you. Do minor closes. And what do I mean by minor closes? Repeat what that person is saying and have an agreement on that particular statement. Now, let's look at buying signals. There's different types of buying signals, and buying signals help you to decide whether to close or not. Now, the buying signal is something that a customer says, which indicates an interest or a desire to take an ad or um, present a closing opportunity. Now, these can occur at any time during the sales call. Buying signals can be vocal or physical. Let's look at a couple of vocal buying signals. Now, feel free to pause at any time. Vocal buying signals are things like, can I put a picture in it? Can I put a picture in the ad? That's good coverage. He's telling you that's good coverage. Confirm. Yes, it is. It's fantastic coverage. And you'll see the value of what you're putting in. Now, remember what I said. Every single answer given, every single signal given is an opportunity for you to do a minor close. A minor close. Fantastic. Now, yes, I can see that this will work. Now he's confirming that this will work. So confirm it back that yes, fantastic. I can see also that you understand that this will work. All right. Now you've got physical buying signals as well. A client, a prospect, either touching the order book or touching your product and examining it, or leans forward towards you and assumes a pleasant expression. Also, looking at things like showing agreement by nodding. Now, those are physical buying signals. Or picks up the literature and the price information to read, and the attitude changes to a friendlier or an attitude of friendliness. Okay, inspects the item or product that shows interest. Those are buying signals. Now, who is a decision maker? You have to understand there's different types of decision makers, and you within your probing session you can assess what type of decision maker it is. The manner in which the sale is conducted also depends on the style of the decision maker. So watch out for these signals. You've got the no nonsense guys who are high achievers and are likely to decide very quickly and maybe um, maybe a little irritated if you leave matters hanging. So be sure that you have everything in your sales kit when you're dealing with a no nonsense decision maker, because they are straight to the point, and you've got your cautious technical guys that really wants more information, wants more stats. These are people. These people will want every detail covered and may need time to think about it. Those are stallers. You have to be careful of those. And also, so I don't push them too much, but you need to stay in control. You need to stay in touch, and you need to make sure that all the information that they require is given to them. And then you have the friendly guys, the type that will say yes even before you are ready or they are ready. And in this case, you got to be careful. In which case you need to ensure that everything is suitably covered. Okay, so nothing can rebound later. Now, there's different types of closing methods, but the real secret here is that if you've covered all the steps and you've covered the client's objectives, and you appeal to the emotions of the client, the deal should automatically close itself naturally. And naturally meaning that the client is ready to buy. And because you have shown them that the product is the right product at the right price and that the product will satisfy their marketing needs. Now, value must always exceed the price. Now, what is your understanding of, for example, these different closing statements? Now, it said here that there's an assumptive close, there's donut close, bonus close, choice close, and last chance close. And the minor close we've covered, which is the minor detail. If the person is agreeing on something, confirm that and close on that minor detail. All right. There's a direct close. Now, this is a direct close is asking a question, a closed-ended question that requires only a yes or a no. Now, ask the client a closed-ended question. For example, shall I go ahead and book the advert for next week's edition? It's a yes or no. The confidence here is high. You know that you have this in the bag. There's been all those buying signals, and the person really wants to take the deal. Okay, can I go ahead and book a 3 months contract? Okay, to ensure the inventory for next week? Now that is a direct close. You have an assumptive close. This is an assumption. You're assuming, and your confidence is pretty much high here. You're assuming that the client is ready to commit. Now you lead with a question that is a leading question or a statement. Now, for example, Mr. Smith, we've discussed your reach and you feel confident about our newspaper. With your authorization, we can secure next week's issue. Now, you're assuming he's ready to go ahead. Now, the point here is that we've discussed this. You feel that you are confident about this, and also with your authorization, can we presume? Can we go ahead? Now, that's an assumptive clause. But remember to always use assumptive clauses when you feel that you're in control of the situation, because you might make an ass out of you and me. That's what assumption means. You make an ass out of you or me. So be careful about that. And then you've got your choice clause, also known as the alternative choice clause. Now it's either this or that. Now this is a simple clause that can be effective. This clause assumes that the prospect needs your product. Now the choice clause is one where you close for either this or that. This it's not an all or nothing type of situation, but it's also allowing the client to either choose this or that. It is a clause that lets the prospect feel that they are in control. They've got an option. Okay. For example, Mr. Potter, I believe that we have covered all the points that we wanted to make. This product looks perfect for you. Now you listen. Okay. Now the closing statement is: would month end be better for you, or do you feel that next week would be more effective? And then you shut up. Remember to keep quiet after asking these type of questions, because now you've given them a choice of month end, or you've given them a choice of next week. Okay. Now look at a different type of alternative choice. Would you like your first print ad to run on the 20th or the 27th? Your confidence is high. Are we going to start your online campaign this week or next week? Fantastic. Now, this is a doorknob close, and a doorknob close is always trying to keep that door open. It's an opportunity for you to say, hold on, sir, you know what? I agree that all else has failed, but I want you to give me more information or keep me in the loop as to what's going on. When all else has failed, guys, there's still an opportunity for you to go back. So close on your own terms. Remember to keep in control. Now, what a doorknob close is, it's an opportunity for you to ask that enticing question that's going to open up an opportunity next time. It's coming from the guy called Columbo, but I'm not sure how many of you guys will remember the series. Now, in context, let's say, for example, the client has already decided on using his flyers. And at this point in time, there's no way of getting advertising spent out of him, and there's no way of canceling his flyers. Now, you just say something very simple. Just as you're about to leave the client, you say, Mr. Joe, I understand that you've committed to your flyers as a form of marketing. And thank you so much for making time to talk to me about your marketing. You know what? At this point, there's nothing we can do about it, but I'm curious as to seeing what return on investment you're going to get out of your flyers. Now, it's an opportunity for you to come back next time and ask him, how did those flyers go? Would you like to stretch your budget across a broader audience for the same amount of money that you're spending on flyers? Now, it's door not closed. You didn't get the deal, but you left the door open. Now, that is pretty much a doorknob close. And then you're looking at the bonus close. Now, a bonus close you hardly use when when you're out on the field, because you don't want to give your product away. Now, you never use this too early in a sales call, only when you see that the conversation is robust and you have got a leeway to push your client maybe to a special package or a combo package. Now, don't give your price, don't give your product away. Show that there's value behind your product. Okay, Peter, we've established that this will benefit you, right? He agrees? Yes. With my manager's authorization, we can sweeten the campaign by giving value for what you are investing in. I see that you're not confident enough on what you will get. Now, remember, you can't give a bonus, or you can't give an opportunity for a person to take on something if you feel that you are in deadlock with that person. And remember to do it only with your manager's authorization. Okay. Now you ask for the deal. May we authorize this campaign? Should we go ahead after you've shown him the added value or the value behind it? Now, moving on. Now, the last chance close is pretty much a close where the client is on the fence. The person is not ready to commit, but they're a bit hesitant. It either means that you haven't asked the right questions to make sure that the sales call closes itself automatically or naturally, but now you have to ask questions that are going to trigger the purchase from this person. Jade, we've discussed how this will help your brand awareness in the community, right? She agrees. The campaign is in your budget as you agreed. Are you telling her that she has agreed to that, right? Now you're getting the person to say, right, if we don't authorize this campaign today, we miss next week's edition. Now he needs or she needs to make a decision. It's a last chance. We've discussed all the elements. Shall we go ahead? So that's a last chance, and you will not get this chance again. Okay. And then the minor point clauses we discussed. You agreeing on the small little things in order for you to close on the major things. Now, if the customer says yes to the minor points, he isn't agreeing to the major decision of buying at a later stage. You mentioned that color would be suited for you. So, for example, just to wrap it up, when you are done saying your closing statement, remember the shut up principle. Keep quiet. The next person to speak either talks himself out of a deal or talks themselves out of a solution. So when you close a deal, close it and shut up. Okay, sounds really rough, but remember, at the end of the day, be disciplined and keep control. Don't talk yourself out of a decision. It sounds as if you're trying to justify the sale, meaning that you've said things that you are also not confident about. It makes the customer feel unpleasant or pressurized. Okay, don't talk yourself out of the sale. So go ahead, try it out, and I hope you've enjoyed these few steps of the sales call and also how to close the deal. Thank you.